just wanted to vent a little bit and talk about the Ricky Turcios thing because I don't see anybody else talking about it. And Ricky Turcios is a big deal. He won tough. He's a tough champion, and he's a big upcomer in the UFC. And he's fighting Raul Rosas Jr., the youngest UFC fighter. That's interesting, and nobody's talking about it. So, yeah, here you go. Some exclusive cutting-edge news from MMA Flicks and Chill. What's up, guys? So check this out. I was so excited because a friend of mine, Ricky Turcios, was fighting Raul Rosas Jr. And that's the one that got canceled like 10 minutes before they were doing the walkout. Raul Rosas, got a tummy ache or something. They just said that he was ill and couldn't make the fight. But that was 10 minutes before they were supposed to walk out. This is unfortunate because I know it's, by the way, Ricky Turcios is a winner of Tough. And he also, I saw him win the championship. I think it was the featherweight championship it was the lightweight championship for Fury. And so I saw him win that, and then we went out to dinner afterwards, celebrated, whatever. I know Ricky through my friend Eric, who is also a fighter and recently retired. And Ricky was super excited because this has always been a dream of his, to fight on a main card in the UFC in Mexico City. And then Raul Rosas Jr. took that from him. He's a little salty. So the thing about it that I think is weird, they're like, don't worry though, we're going to it's been confirmed. We're rebooking it for next week. And that would be on the Rosenstrike card this weekend. So I was just going to take a look to see who he's fighting on a card with. And, let me share this with you because there's a little bit of drama going on here. And I want to share this drama with you because it's interesting. The UFC's there's a lot of things that's going on, but we'll talk about it. The UFC put out fake news. Ricky felt a little salty about it. More salty with Rosas Jr. than, the UFC, obviously. But let's take a look. Check this out. So they said that they were rebooking Ricky on the next following weekend, right? You guys remember hearing that announcement? Let's take a look at UFC's website. All right. So main card. Jairzinho Rozenstruik versus Shamil Gaziev. And then the co-main is Vitor Perino versus Tyson Pedro. And then the next one is Alex Perez versus Muhammad Mokav. By the way, I'm excited to see this fight. Muhammad's going to mop the floor with this dude, I think. Yeah. And then Umar Nurmagomedov versus Betzat Almahakami. I don't know if I said that guy's name right. But, yeah, it's pretty... Let's see. This Betzat guy, I don't even know what his record is. Umar's like 12 or 13-0, something like that. Matt Schnell versus Steve Urkeg. All right. Okay, so now we're in the prelims. So Ricky was supposed to be in the main card of the Mexico City pay-per-view, and now he's not even on the main card of the fight night. That sucks. Let's see prelims. Let's see if he's here. We got Anders versus Jamie Pickett. Wow, they got Anders is... I need to research Anders. I don't know a lot about him. I know Jamie Pickett's good, but they got him as an underdog. Then we got Vinicius Oliveira versus Giannis Gamori. I don't know who either of those guys are, but those are some gladiator-sounding names if I've ever heard any. Ayman Zahabi versus Javid Basharat. All right. Wow, he's a big favorite. Christian Leroy Duncan versus Claudio Ribeiro. Okay. Man, they really got... If Ricky Turcios is fighting on this card, they sure got him at the bottom. Let's keep reading. Let's find where he's at. Ludovic Klein versus AJ Cunningham. Hey, AJ Cunningham kind of looks like Ian Gary a little bit. Abdul Karim Al Salwadi versus Loic Radzhabov. All right, let's. Oh, that's it. So Ricky Turcios is not on this card, and so basically, he put a post up on Instagram saying fake news about the fight being rescheduled for this weekend. And, there's rumor that, Rosas just does not want to fight him. And, and Ricky's, he's a little salty about it. And he even called Bullshito, which is Japanese word for representing honor and loyalty and respect and things like that. So he said that Raul Rosas Jr. didn't follow the Bullshito code, and who knows what's going on. But wow, it sounds like if it's what it looks like Raul Rosas Jr. got cold feet. He was genuinely scared to fight Ricky, which I understand. Ricky's got that crazy gas tank. He's got crazy energy, and Raul Rosas has crazy energy in the first round, maybe even first round and a half. But Ricky has crazy energy all 5 rounds. He can go and go and go and go and go. He's one of those guys. He's about it. And he can match Raul's energy in the first round too. So I don't, there's this scene from The Office where he's like, Michael's getting bullied by Pam because she says she's going to punch him in the face as hard as she can after work. And he's talking to Toby, the HR guy. And Toby says to Michael, or Michael says, you know what? I don't know if I can confront. I might go home early today. My stomach kind of hurts. And Toby says,
Michael, sometimes my daughter's stomach hurts when there's a mean girl at school.
And I think that Raul Rosas, I think he was in the back locker room waiting to do his fight. He already was feeling anxious and nervous about it. He's young. Remember how young he is. He's only 19 years old. He's the youngest guy in the UFC. So he may not know how to control the anxiety and the nerves yet, Like, think about it. He's under the biggest spotlight, literally in a cage with thousands of spotlights coming down, lots of press. Everybody's watching every move. That's a lot for a 19-year-old. And I think that he is feeling anxiety and he got cold feet and he doesn't want to fight Ricky. I think something about Ricky makes his tummy hurt. So, yeah. So when the UFC announced that they rescheduled it, Ricky knew that they didn't reschedule it because he hadn't signed a contract. And he's not on the site, and it's Wednesday. When I started catching wind, like, what? He's not booked, and there's this weird stuff going on. I found these other things. Like, check this out. I'll show you. Oh, MMA Junkie put this out. Ricky Turcios casts doubt on quick UFC rebooking with unprofessional Raul Rosas Jr., who disrespected the Bullshito code. Ricky Turcios got about as close as a UFC fighter can get to a fight without fighting, and he's not happy about it. Saturday, Turcios, 12-3 MMA, 12-1 UFC, was geared up and ready to walk out to fight Raul Rosas Jr. on the main card of UFC Fight Night 237 in Mexico City. However, minutes before the walkout, it was announced that Rosas, 8-1 MMA, 2-1 in the UFC, had withdrawn from the fight due to illness. It was announced on the broadcast and later by the UFC CEO Dana White that the Rosa-Turcios matchup was rebooked for this Saturday's UFC Fight Night 238 in Las Vegas. Turcios called the announcement fake news in an Instagram story he later deleted. Last night, Rosas Jr. said no fight literally 5 minutes before the walkout to the fight in the octagon, Turcios wrote on Instagram. Rosas Jr. said no to facing me in front of 20,000 Mexican fans in Mexico City. Rosas Jr. disrespected the Bullshito code. Very unprofessional. Ricky, the Ultimate Fighter, wins in Mexico. Viva las Mexico. Thank you to all my friends and family and all the fans. I love you all. So, yeah. So, and this is how, fake news. This is how I posted it. Big red letters. Guess he deleted it or whatever. It also says it's not unheard of for the UFC to announce plans for bookings without both sides of the contract signed. I'm in the event business, and I do what Dana White does, but I do it for my events, which are much smaller, not anywhere close to the magnitude that the UFC is, obviously. But I run pop culture conventions, and we have thousands of people come out. And that's a big no-no, actually, in this business. Making announcements before any contracts are signed, that's a no-no. But anyway, but if the rebooking goes down Saturday, like White said, it is expected to be at a catch weight. And then it says, for more on the card, visit MMA Junkies event hub for UFC Fight Night 237. So, interesting, right? It's a bummer, though. It's a bummer. And another thing, by the way, if they did not book the fight and Ricky's coming back home, he lives like 30 minutes from me. I'm going to try to set up have him be a guest on MMA Flicks and Chill here. And we can ask him questions and talk to him. And I don't know if I'll do it live yet. I'm still trying to grow the channel. So that's another thing. If you guys like the channel, if you like the content, subscribe and follow this so we can continue to grow it. Sometimes my videos are just talking about things going on and goes into philosophy sometimes. Sometimes I do funny edits of weird situations. It just depends on what's going on in the scene. But in either scenario, I'm entertaining you guys. So if you could subscribe to the channel, if you would like the video, and comment. Let me know what you guys think. And I'm trying to grow this to 1,000 subscribers by my birthday in August. So help me do that. Let your friends know. If you have friends that like the UFC and follow YouTube commentators, let them know about MMA Flicks and Chill. But anyway, yeah, I'd like to have Ricky Turcios on. Also, another one in our circle is Alex the Great White Morano in the welterweight division. Fought Pettis, beat actually he was the one that fought Pettis's last fight before Pettis retired and lost. My friend Alex lost to decision. It was a close decision. And he beat Cowboy. He fought Tim Means. A lot of people. So, yeah, Alex Great White Morano will probably be on MMA Flicks and Chill at some point as well. So stay tuned for that. Anyway, I think that that's good for this video. I just wanted to vent a little bit and talk about the Ricky Turcios thing because I don't see anybody else talking about it. And Ricky Turcios is a big deal. He won tough. He's a tough champion, and he's a big upcomer in the UFC. And he's fighting Raul Rosas Jr., the youngest UFC fighter. That's interesting, and nobody's talking about it. So, yeah, here you go. Some exclusive cutting-edge news from MMA Flicks and Chill. So, subscribe, like, put your comments down in there, and ring that bell. Talk to you later.
Yeah! Thank you for kicking in with MMA Flicks and Chill. Yeah! If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. Ring the bell, ring the bell.